If you got Stockholm Syndrome, that's probably why you ain't making no money. Hey everybody, Low Jockey here. Haven't made a video in a while, but as you can see by the title, I'm not trying to clickbait you or anything. It's just some things that I've been noticing, and it's kind of strange and disturbing. I was just browsing the Hirschbach Driver Lounge Facebook app, and this guy made a comment. He said, thank you to, I guess this is driver manager. He said, thank you for this week. I drove like 3,908 miles. And everybody was commenting like, oh, that's good for you. Or, so you mean to tell me you drove 560 some odd miles per day? You know, I even chimed in. I said, hey, how many of those miles out of that 3,900 were from, you know, maybe a previous trip that didn't get turned in, you know, by Tuesday at midnight, which is the cutoff? He said 0. 3,900 miles one week plus 2,100 miles the next week, that's still 3,000 average. He was like, no, I get 3,000 to 3,700 miles every week. Let me tell y'all something. Right now, I swear to you that it can be done, bro. I drive 600 miles a day. Every day. Okay? Every day. But in realistic terms, you know, you got to go from, you know, your pickup, delivery, watching out these trailers and all that. Can it happen within a pay period? It could, but everything has to be lined up. But I just felt like the guy was like lying, you know, or he was bending the truth. So I said, you know what, I got to remove myself from this whole Facebook group. I didn't want to be a part of it anymore. And then I started thinking, like, why are these guys thinking like this? And if you did drive 3,900 miles in a week, why are you thanking somebody else for your accomplishments? Then I started thinking, this guy, and maybe a lot of people, have something similar to Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome. You know, I got some expert right here. I got some video coverage by a lady who, she is a certified marriage counselor, and basically she studies psychology, okay? And I'm going to put some clips in from this lady. She's on YouTube. I'm trying to give her credit. I'll put her name somewhere up there, and I'm just going to show you some of the videos. She's going to explain what Stockholm Syndrome, and I'm going to cross-reference why I think that Stockholm Syndrome and driving trucks, if you're a company driver or a lease driver, they have some correlation. And it's affected even people that some of my people that I consider are my friends or becoming a friend. I don't want nothing to happen to these people. So really, in a way, I'm speaking from a Hirschbach perspective, but it can go across all the lines of truck driving, okay? And I just see something very strange going on as far as truck driving. And I'm going to try to put some comparisons to them. You can put something in the comments. If you think I'm far off base, let me know. Now, this video, some people may perceive me as talking bad about the company I work for, and I'm willing to take that risk. You know, I'm not trying to open nothing against them. It's in general with them. It could be Prime leasing, it could be JB Hunt leasing the truck, it could be USA truck leasing the truck, or you could just be a regular company driver. And what we're going to do is go through what Stockholm Syndrome is, where it came from, and then some of the things that I correlate with truck driving. Let me know if I'm off base. Like I said, this could get me in trouble. No, I'm not a sheep. I don't follow. I'm a wolf, if anything. But anyway, I'm going to show you what's going on here. And like I said, if you think I'm off base, hit me in the comments.
Stockholm Syndrome is named after a bank robbery that happened in 1973 in Stockholm, Sweden. There were bank employees that were kept for 6 days. They were first wrapped in dynamite and thrown into the bank vault. And the thing that happened that shocked everybody is that throughout those 6 days, Those captive people wrapped in dynamite, for some reason, became eerily attached to their captors. They felt bad for them. They even turned away police and assistants to get them out of there. They were not helpful at all, and even once released, some of them still kept in touch with their captor. Now let's get into the fascinating part and the reason that Stockholm Syndrome takes hold. There are 4 factors that need to be in place and need to happen, so let's talk about them. The first, and the kind of the obvious one, is that we must feel threatened, either physically or psychologically. And we have to believe that the abuser/captor will actually act out on that threat.
In reality, being threatened is like really threatening your life, okay? So I'm not going to try to stretch it that these companies are threatening your life, but they do have certain threats in there that could have some of the same feel, okay? So like with my company, if you go out of route, they're gonna charge you for out of route mileage fuel. If you don't go exactly to where they say get fuel and you get fuel somewhere else, you'll be threatened by not getting the 99-cent program, okay? Things like that. So that is the threatening part. It's not like a threat against your life, but it's things that keep you under control, you know? Things to make you think that somebody's going, if you go out of route, we're going to do something to you. So that one. Now, maybe that's stretching it a little bit, but the other 3, let's see.
The second condition, and this is where it starts to, you can see how it can psychologically shift for the person being abused, is that the abuser will then show some small kindness.
So they're going to show some small act of kindness, okay? For instance, the example what I said earlier where the guy said, hey, thank you to his driver manager for giving him 3,908 miles. Okay. This guy believes that this guy gave him something. He didn't give him anything. If he's telling the truth and he drove those 3,900 miles, he did it. He's thinking I'm not going to call him an oppressor, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, the Stockholm Syndrome thing is somebody who's holding you captive. So if you're being held captive by not going out of route and doing all these things and being detained at shippers and not even going past wherever you live, you never get a ride that goes past your house unless you're lucky. You know what I mean? So you start thinking these people. And even a friend of mine, he says he busted ass on a job and the guy was like, hey man, you killed it, you know, boom, boom, boom. Be careful at what they're saying. You might just be getting set up for the next thing.
In the instance with Stockholm, in Stockholm, Sweden, in that actual event, the captor said that, well, they fed us and they gave us water and they talked about how hard their life had been as a child. They will do some sort of thing to show you a little kindness, to kind of take care of you a little bit so that you believe they're not all bad. The third condition that needs to take place is being isolated from other perspectives.
Very simple in isolation. We are out in the trucks. Right now, I'm making this video. I'm in the truck alone with all the curtains closed. You know, I can talk to my wife, but she has no idea what moving a tandem is, or scaling out, or, you know, my airbags are not inflated. She has no clue of what we're talking about. And most of the guys out here on the road, they don't even talk to people in the company. You got to get some kind of rapport with people or you're going to be very isolated. And when you're isolated, you don't know what other drivers are doing. You don't know what's going on. You don't speak with them. You don't communicate with them. And you think, like I said, these companies have your best interests in mind. Okay? You really believe that, but you're not talking to anybody else. Okay? So you're being isolated, maybe threatened, and then when you do something good, they throw you a little bone. But at the end of the day, are you making money? Are you turning down loads? Do you have a prerequisite of your agenda of how many miles you want to have as a minimum for the week and the way you want to run? Okay? Do you? Or are you letting these people isolate you? And when you get on the phone, they tell you, hey man, this is a good run. This is a good load for you. There's no more freight. This is the only thing. Okay? When you get isolated, now you're believing this person that's almost holding you captive. Okay? me, where I work, I can't take my truck nowhere else. They know I got to go wherever they say go. So when I say I don't want to load and I don't hear anything for 2 or 3 hours, it's like they have you as a hostage. Not really, but it's still that whole Stockholm Syndrome thing. You cannot take stuff you don't want. You have to have some minimum requirements. Nobody's going to take care of you. Nobody.
Fourth and final condition that must take place is that we actually feel that we are not able to escape.
And the final one, it's like you can't escape. They tell you how much miles you're going to get. For instance, I'm going to put my driver manager out there. I'm not going to say his name. This guy, it's today is Wednesday. It's the first day of the pay period. I delivered Wednesday morning a load. He gets on the phone. He shoots me a load. I don't like it. I shoot it down immediately. Not even 2 minutes later, the guy calls. He said, hey man, that first load, I know it looks a certain type of way, but check this out. I'm going to back you up with another load. And, you know, it'll give you about 800 miles right there. So that's 1,600 miles. Okay, it's 1,600 miles, bro. And I'm talking to you. I hope you can watch this video. It's 1,600 miles in 6 days. That's almost a week. And you telling me that's good loads. It's a lot of people that believe you, man. It's a lot of people that got this Stockholm Syndrome. It's a lot of sheep. I mean, when you talk to me, it's like you're some kind of, like you're trying to sell me a car. People, if you can hear me, you got to get out of the clouds. Nobody's going to take care of you. If you got Stockholm Syndrome and you wonder why you can't make but $400 or $500 a week, and you know you can't really escape because you haven't saved up enough money to go find another job. You got to have some kind of backbone. You got to. You cannot have Stockholm Syndrome. And then another thing about Stockholm Syndrome is you start to go against the people that are trying to help you, like me. You really believe these companies are really helping you, and I'm some kind of instigator. Because you're afraid of confrontation. You're afraid to say no. And you believe that your captors have your best interests in mind. And everybody else on the outside is kind of like the enemy. And you start to believe when they give you these little breadcrumbs and they give you a little certificate that says you're the best. And that little piece of paper is not going to pay your mortgage. It's not going to pay for food for your family. They got you. So be careful, because these big corporations, they got meetings where they get together and they try to find out things that make employees happy and ways to retain them. Okay? Like this TV, this satellite, you know. Okay? This is nothing but like the kindness things. I don't even watch TV. But when you're not getting loads and you're sitting on the side, you can't get no miles. You're getting, this guy tried to offer me pretty much 1,600 miles in 1 week. This is what happens. You start to think that the person that has you captive is doing things for you by having a stupid TV and a stupid satellite. Okay? You start to lose the grasp of it. You got to go take care of your family. Okay? These are just trinkets of kindness. Because you're being captive. If you want to be captive. Don't be a sheep, be a wolf. You got to notice when you're being played. Okay? Again, am I making money out here? Yes, I am. But I'm not swinging at everything you throw at me. It's more than 3 strikes, okay? I can stand here. You can throw me pitches all day. Until I see the load I want that's going to make sense for me and my family, I'm not swinging. Okay? So you got a lot of really good salesmen out there. They will tell you there is nothing else. They will tell you if you don't take this, what they're going to do. Or, oh, if you don't want to work, they try to hit you with that stuff and put you in a position where you're scared or whatever. That is the whole thing, man. It's not Stockholm Syndrome in the sense of like it was when those people were held up in the bank, but you are still captive. Okay? When you get routes that go nowhere close to your house, they got you in the middle of nowhere, sitting in a field at a place where when the truck is not moving, you're not getting paid. And they give you a crap load and tell you there's nothing else. And you take it. It's like you're being held captive, and you feel like that person is really helping you because you don't know what the other people are doing. The other people are making money because you're too afraid to speak up for yourself. So, again, if this gets me in trouble, I'm prepared because I don't care. I'm talking about whoever the shoe fits, okay? You got to stop playing with games with people and their families. We got families out here. We got guys out here that's trying to make money for their families. You got guys out here that are starving and they're giving the money to their family and they're staying out for who knows how many months at a time because they're on this whole Stockholm syndrome, like they can't say no to a load that they know is garbage because they assume that the person on the other end of the phone or whoever's issuing those people the loads, that's it. There's nothing else. Check yourself. Do you have Stockholm syndrome? Some of these traits are similar to Stockholm syndrome. You either gonna be a sheep or you're gonna be a wolf. You know what I'm saying? Be a wolf. Do what you gotta do. Anyway, I'm starting to get upset right now. I better go to sleep. So that's all I gotta say. If you got Stockholm syndrome, that's probably why you ain't making no money.